Hi, this is EnlightenmentANAVRIN. This is my Rise of Skywalker review. Just got back from the movie, and then I had to go to work, and now it's morning, so I'm home, so I'm on zero sleep. This is going to be a very delirious rant type of video. Um, I liked the movie overall. If I had to rate it, I would say it's like like 6.5, 7 out of 10. It's not as cringy as The Last Jedi. Does it have Leia floating through space cringe scene? But I would say there's some level of campy fun, which is cool with Poe and Finn, but then there's just some kind of cringe with this actually the entire existence of Palpatine. Like, why is he there? Why does this exist? Here's the stuff that I can't left still not knowing the answer to, or things I still wanted to ask questions of. Number one, there's no conclusion to the new character Jonna, which we learned is a ex stormtrooper, just like Finn, has a number name, just like Finn used to. We don't know if she's Lando's daughter. It kind of gives that impression of where are you from at the end. So whatever that actually means. Number two, originally only the Sith could use Force lightning. So why can Rey use it? Maybe that's just J.J. Abrams saying, "Hey, we want to have a foreshadowing scene about because Rey is Palpatine's granddaughter," which is dumb in itself. I think maybe because she was using too much strain and was like, "I'm gonna get the ship back," and then Kylo was like, "No, you're not," and because she was like, "Yes," and then not like peaceful and at peace, calm with it. Maybe that's why the lightning came out. I don't know. That kind of makes no sense. But then again, Force Lightning doesn't really make sense in general. If anybody played the PlayStation 2 game of Revenge of the Sith before the infamous game that came out before the movie came out, the transition in that game, if you play as Anakin, after he accepts Palpatine's hand, then it's like, you have now learned Force Lightning. Press circle, use Force Lightning, or whatever. And it just doesn't ever explain it. But it's not like he ever uses Force Lightning in the movie anyway, so it's just a weird, stupid gimmick. So she didn't accept any kind of dark ruling or anything of the sort to become Lightning. I don't know. That kind of makes no sense. I'm just kind of like freaking out that she's the granddaughter. I didn't see that coming. I don't know what's going on with that. That's just really blowing my mind right now. Number three, obviously Lando's in it. Lando's awesome. 10 out of 10 Lando. Um, he did not get to meet with Leia, so there was no true reunification of the original cast members in the original Star Wars fam. I thought that was inconvenient that once Leia passes away, he shows up at the, I guess, funeral, and he's just like, "Hey, what's going on?" And it's like, why would you do that? I don't know. That's just bad story writing. Number four, 3PO, R2D2, and Chewie had more plot developing roles than they did in The Last Jedi. Yes, because positive thing, because J.J. Abrams actually knows what to do with these characters with the fans, and Rian Johnson doesn't, and he's kind of like shoved them aside, and it kind of didn't matter except for BB-8. But I think it was an even amount of BB, R2, 3PO, which had a large role since he knows how to read the Sith hieroglyphs or whatever. But that was cool. And little droid Dio, he was cool, I guess. He was this very, very small role for as much merch as they have everywhere and stuffed animals. And there's a lamp and like the bedroom set for the kids and the toys and all that. And it's just insane amount of stuff. Um, Number five, the scene when Force Ghost Luke hands Rey the lightsaber that used to belong to Leia. 1,000 questions arise. I thought everything that was from the Dark Horse comics was trash, according to the Disney agenda or whatever. So apparently they brought that back because Leia was a Jedi in the scene where they show both of them. Which that scene, that CGI could have been done 1,000 times better. And it was like, oh, here's just a couple of minutes of this little scene of them. And it's like you want the whole movie to be that. You want something to be that because it's the only way you're ever going to see any kind of expanded universe turn into a film as far as Disney is concerned while it's under uh, high and mighty Miss Kathleen Kennedy. Anyway, rant for the day on that. Rey makes her own lightsaber. It's yellow. It's cool. It's a different color. Not sure why it's yellow. I think it should have been white, like Ralph McQuarrie concept art was white. All the lightsabers or whatever they were called at the time were just white. I think because she buried Lucas and Leia's at the Lars homestead on Tatooine, I think that kind of put everything to rest. I thought that was going to be it and there was no more Jedi. But it's like, oh, I made this. So maybe she cut up the crystals, or maybe you can, like, professionally cut them like a diamond and make a new one. I don't know. How'd she make it? We don't know. The Force. At least she got trained, so maybe Leia taught her how to do it, and she already had it, but just hadn't actually like busted it out yet. The Sith troopers, the red guys, and the jet troopers, they didn't have a very big role. I didn't think that was very clever of them to do that because I wanted to see more of that. How come the entire fleet of Palpatine and his troopers and personnel and all of those ships and everything, how are they all hiding in the unknown regions? How are they all there for like 30 years and no one knows they're there from either the First Order or the Resistance or just regular people? How does that get past them? So I don't know what's going on with that. How's that even functional? Let me know in the comments. I think that's just a cheap cop out of we need a plot, we need a ploy to get out of this. How are we going to get out of this? Let's just throw everything we possibly can into the unknown regions of the galaxy. So we could just make things up. Planets, people, ships, people that were dead are now alive. Anything of the sort. I think it's a cheap cop out. Was the public backlash against Rose the reason she was so harshly friend-zoned in the whole movie? No friendship with Finn at all, even after the kiss at the end of the Battle of Crate. I don't really hate Rose. She's not really that good of a character, but it was just kind of, she was that like friend that you have in high school that's like, I mean, me as a girl with another friend that's a girl that's like, I want to be your friend. And then you're just like, she's really weird and like awkwardly nerdy and kind of like hoy and everything. And you're like, okay, yeah, girl, you're my friend, hug or whatever. And you just like never want to hang out with her, and you probably don't want to be seen hanging out with her because you're going to look like a loser if you do. That's Rose pretty much in this movie. Rose is the I want to be your friend towards Poe and Poe's new buddy Jannah, because she can relate to her. He can relate to her because they're both ex-stormtroopers. So, but was the public's backlash against the Rose character, saying how much they hate her, did that actually affect the movie? Did JJ put that into the movie? Like maybe originally there was supposed to be a relationship with her and Finn, and now there's not. Was evil Rey just made up to scare current Rey and make Kylo believe in her betrayal? So the evil Rey thing was cool, but it was like scary, and I thought she was gonna like pop out again whenever she was looking through the wreckage of the Death Star, because it kind of had that like ba 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 vibe of like you're gonna die, something's gonna happen, she's gonna jump out and get you. But this is not a horror film, so that didn't happen. But I think that's what, if you go back to Last Jedi, I think that's what Snoke, aka Palpatine, aka just the dark side, aka all of the Sith, was blocking her vision when she wanted to see her parents with the hand and like, what's going on? And when there's like 1,000 rays, which I love that scene. It kind of is garbage now because of this movie, but I like that scene. The way it was filmed, it looked cool. But I think all of that was just to block her memory of the truth of her actual parents, but that she never knew the truth of her grandparents. So there is that. Um, Rate, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. I want to hear all the Star Wars things. I would definitely compare this movie to the lack of hype to the end of the Game of Thrones season. Without spoiling that, because we're not here to talk about Game of Thrones, and I don't know enough about that to really go in depth on it and make that part of my channel or anything. But I liked the Poe and Finn. That was my favorite of them bouncing off ideas off of each other. I liked the ship scenes and just them flying around. I got to see Y-Wings. Got to see Luke's X-Wing. That was super cool. Got to see that cool planet where Zori lives. Zori was a cool character. I like how she's all standoffish and like, I'm not going to kiss you. No. No. But overall, the only Leia floating through space cringe equivalent moment was probably the Emperor using the electric to shock all of the fleet. That was true unlimited power of the thing there. So let me know what you guys think. Would I recommend this film? Yeah, I guess. If you're a fan of Star Wars, yeah. If you don't really care, no. It's probably in the same category. I would say it's better than Solo. I would say it's way better than The Last Jedi. But I would say it's on par with Force Awakens, even though the pacing is bad at the beginning, in my opinion. It's very Clone Wars Season 1 pacing, and then it spreads out, but it's just kind of, I think the pacing issue, I think, is just too much action, not enough downtime, or not enough like sandwiched in between there. You know, you want the cookie and you want the filling. You don't just want cookies, cookies, cookies. You just want even amount. So that's it for my video. Thanks for watching, and I will make another one soon, hopefully, if I have time, but I'm not awake, so I'm going to sleep. Good night.